Good morning, Walnut Creek. Happy Easter. Welcome. My name is Eileen.
And I'm Susan, and we thank the choir for helping us get our Easter on this morning.
Jump in the joint. So we also want to greet and bless everyone who is watching online. And your presence adds to our spiritual community, and we're grateful to have you with us. So thank you for joining us. And please welcome our Joyful Hearts Choir. Directed by Sandra Peter, and joined by Diane Hardy, Tyler Snortum Phelps, Nathaniel Guzis, on keyboards, Dustin Prock, on bass, Daniel Cueva, and Scott Town on drums, Max Rody on guitar. Thank you for sharing your music with us, everybody.
And welcome home, Scott and Max. TJ Woodward will deliver today's message. You are loved. It's entitled The Emerging Brilliance of Now, Viewing the Easter Story Through the Mystical Lens. TJ is a best-selling author, inspirational speaker, and he was inspirational this morning, so you're in for a treat. An accomplished workshop facilitator who has helped countless people through his simple yet powerful teachings. He was given the honor of being ordained as an agape minister by Dr. Michael Beckwith. And was also the founding minister of Agape Bay Area in Oakland, which was the first satellite community of the Agape International Spiritual Center. Welcome, TJ.
Yeah. Before we begin, I invite you to turn your phones to silent as we enjoy this sacred service together.
Because it will go off during meditation.
Yes.
Let's take a moment to be grateful for this land our center rests upon. This is Bay Miwok and Ohlone land.
We honor the Bay Miwok and Ohlone people of today, and are grateful for those who were stewards of this land before us. We are committed to taking care of these sacred native grounds and Mother Earth.
Unity is a positive path for spiritual living. Our vision for the world is, and let's say this together, we envision a spiritually awakened world where all life thrives in conscious oneness.
Our mission is who we have come here to be. So again, let's say this together.
We are a loving, inclusive community, expanding and living our divinity in sacred service for all.
Our core values are love, connection,
service, and wisdom. If you are with us, ushers, if you are with us for the first time, welcome. If you feel comfortable, please raise your hand that we can give you a welcome packet.
There's a couple of
Thank you. Thank you for being here. We are really glad to have you with us today, and we invite you to visit our Welcome Center Bookstore Cafe across the patio after the service to receive a gift. And we hope you'll choose to stay and visit us again and see some of us after the service.
Yeah. Connection cards. Will somebody hold up a connection card so everybody can see it? There are those gray things in the seats behind you.
Yeah, John's got one right there.
All right. There we go. They are for everyone. They're in the newcomer packets. And with this card, you may submit a prayer request, and our prayer team will pray with you throughout the week.
You may also share feedback or request information. Place the card in the basket with the offering. And for those who are viewing online, connection cards are available on the Watch Live page. We have several activities to highlight this week because Unity's hopping for the spring.
Yeah, it is. First of all, we invite you to experience the power of blessings in your life by coming and joining Johanna von Gelder in her workshop Prayer from the Heart class. In this class, we learn and deepen our understanding of the 5-part affirmative prayer practiced in Unity communities and make it our own practice. If you are new to this form of prayer or have used it for many years, the class will uplift your spirit. To participate, you will need to read the book Discover Your Divinity, A Modern Guide to Affirmative Prayer, which you can find in the Unity bookstore.
And Earth Day is coming up. Come celebrate Earth Day with us as we bless our land and take care of the sacred Unity grounds.
Yes.
There are plenty of ways to get involved. You can sign up on the patio to help with landscaping, painting, cleaning, all kinds of other little tasks that need doing. Also, please bring a plant-based dish to share with our potluck. We'd love to have you join in. Many hands make light work, right? Indeed. So please sign up on the patio or send an email to the office.
And speaking of Mother Earth, you might have heard that the planet is in a crisis. And this may make you deny the problem, worry about our survival, or maybe consider the possibility of something yet unseen. And so in honor of Earth Day, there will be a workshop here led by the esteemed Matthew Fox. I can't believe he's coming. It just blows me away. The workshop will help us understand that crisis can actually be an opportunity, and an opportunity for us to grow and evolve. Matthew will show us how we can use our compassion and creativity to work together for our common survival. You can sign up for Matthew's Earth Day workshop either in the bookstore or on our website.
And now I'd like to invite Reverend Carol Richardson to the platform to tell us about her Peace Circle gathering. Where is she?
There she is.
Oh, there she is.
Thank you. I love this choir. Good morning, Unity. Good morning, Carol. Who would like to see peace in the world? I would. Thank you for raising your hands. Would you like to experience the peace that passes understanding with a group of spiritual friends? Oh, yeah. Would you like to learn more about accessing and maintaining that peace within yourself? And would you like to learn more about how to bring that peace into your relationships? Absolutely. That was a trick question. Well, there's going to be a tricky little teaching in here. Maybe you already know it, but I hope you come and find out. Tell me if you already know it. Would you like to help receive in this place more peace and help manifest it out into the world?
Yes.
Good answers. Y'all pass this test. Then please come next Sunday, April 7th, right here in the Unity Sanctuary from 1:30 to 3:30 p.m. for a Peace Circle gathering. So the last fall, when I was feeling distraught, as many of you probably were, about what's going on in the world, I was like, what can I do? And the universe said, start offering peace circles. So here we are, next Sunday. Please join us.
My turn. For more information and registration for all our events, because there are many more, please see our website. You may visit our welcome table for flyers as well.
As we prepare for our time of meditation, please join me in taking a conscious breath and affirming our statement of faith together. There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, the all-loving goodness of God. We begin with a chant by Lola Stark, followed by music, guided meditation, and silence.
He was in this world, but not of it. He wore this world like a loose garment. Crucified by fear, resurrected by love, transcending this classroom, rising above. Be in this world, but not of it. Wear this world like a loose garment, like a loose garment.
I am made of the light that hung the stars in the night, a perfect thought since time began. I am called by the voice that speaks of truth and joy, forever blessed where I stand. I am one with the love that's holding all of us. It's power in my hand. I am.
Taking a nice deep breath now as we allow the power of those words and notes, I am, to settle into our consciousness. Tuning into the frequency of gratitude, grateful for this moment, for this community, and for this opportunity to acknowledge the greatest I am, the knowing that there is one power and one presence. Feeling into the frequency of the gratitude in that knowing that this power is the source of my life, the source of the life of every person in this room and beyond. Anchoring in that knowing, I am the light. I am source. I am love. And so as we move into our time of silence, we move into this time of silence consciously knowing that we are each perfect emanations, perfect expressions of this one power. And because we know this, we know our time together today is blessed. So we simply settle in now and open up to inner wisdom, asking, what is the highest possibility for my life, for this service, for our time together today? Simply shifting our awareness into that deep wellspring of inner wisdom, the truth of who we are, as we take 2 minutes together in this silence. So grateful to know that we are this power, this one power and one presence that is our very essence, our being. And we know this power to be our life, and because we know this power is our life, we also know that this service is blessed. Every note, every word, every glance, every hug, every smile is infused with the very beingness of source energy, infinite potentiality, infinite possibilities. We are so grateful to know this. And because we know in the realm of spirit it is already done, we simply release this now with great gratitude into the field of consciousness, the field of infinite potential. And we lovingly and with great gratitude release this. We let it go. We let it be. And so it is.
with the love that's holding all of us. It's power in my hands. I am. Winter is over and gone, and a brand new day has just begun. Born anew. The bitter cold and the icy gloom are now tiny buds about to bloom. They will rise in you. You are my light. Earth, participate in this rebirth and be born anew. Let every heart be lifted higher. Let every soul now be inspired to rise in you. God is my light. God is my joy. My strength, I rise. God is my hope. God is my love, my peace. I rise. I'm one with the force that lifts the eagle's wings. One with the joy that makes my heart sing. One with the light that turns an acorn to a tree. One with the power working miracles in me. As I rise, in the light and in the love, I am the power, I am it all, I am lifted up. We are one, lifted, born anew. And when we're one with it all, there's nothing that we cannot do. One with the light, with the love, with the peace, with the joy. We
Wow, incredible. Let's give them some more love, everyone. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Isn't it wonderful to see people saying yes to their calling? So thank you, thank you. Good morning, Unity. Happy Easter. Happy Easter. Oh my goodness. You know, as I was reflecting for preparing for the Easter talk, for those of us who have been in New Thought for a while, the Easter talk is like the big talk. You got to have the Easter talk, right? I was thinking about how many different ways to tell a story and how many different ways we hear a story. And if I had a microphone, which I'm sure I could find, but we're not going to do this because, you know, we might be here all day. But to ask you for your version of what's happening on planet Earth right now, we would hear a lot of different stories. And here's the great news. Every single one of those stories would be 100% accurate. Because we all view every story and the world through our lens, through our own lens of perspective and perception. So as I dive into the Easter story, I want to start by saying, I know that we all come to this moment with very many different pathways. Some of us grew up with the Easter story. I grew up with the Easter story in my church. Some of us grew up in a church where we would like to say no thank you to that story that we heard. Some of us grew up saying, oh, that was the best place that I ever went. Some people didn't have that at all. For some of us, Easter was the Easter bunny and Easter eggs. For some of us, we were at a synagogue or a mosque. We don't even know this Easter story. We might have come to New Thought going, what is this Easter thing? Right? And so I wanted to start with that because when we look at the story, we can look at it through different lenses. And the last time I was here, I talked briefly about the 4 levels of consciousness that came to me once in a meditation that I've given 4 different words, and I'm just going to briefly go through them. Martyr, magical thinking, metaphysical, and mystical. And the first time I ever spoke, I gave a talk called Beyond Metaphysics, talking about us shifting from the metaphysical perspective into the mystical perspective, which is oneness. And someone came up to me afterward and said, have you ever heard Michael Beckwith speak? He says almost the exact same thing. I hadn't ever known that, but what is beautiful about that is we pick that up in consciousness. And having now become his friend, we talked about picking that up in consciousness, and we have a little bit different way we say it or frame it, but the bottom line is we have a choice in how we view the world and the story. Do I want to view it through the martyr lens? Things happen to me. I'm a victim to the world. Do I want to move into the ever popular and fun stage of I make things happen? That's a fun one, isn't it? That's what a lot of us come into New Thought. We're like, no, I'm not a victim. I make it happen. Vision board, manifestation, perfect partner. And if you're anything like me, you manifested it all, and then it's like, oh. Is that all? Right? Is that all? And then we might move into the metaphysical, which is things happen through me, and then ultimately we might have an opportunity to shift into mystical, which is the awareness that there's only one of us here. The awareness that is beyond words or thought, that we are each a perfect expression of the one power and one presence. Because doesn't it sound good, Unity's first principle? Like, there's only one power and one presence active in my life and in the universe, except for that one political figure. That person's not part of source energy. That can't be true. I'm not that person. I remember about maybe 20 years ago, I went to a workshop and we were instructed to reach under our chair and there was a piece of paper with a word on it. And we were to find a person in the room and describe exactly how that word is true about us. So someone got the word loving. Oh, I can't wait to tell you how loving I am. Another person got the word spiritual. I am so spiritual. I can't wait to share how spiritual I am with you. And then another person got murderer. Can I walk up to someone and share the ways that I've been in the world where I've played the villain and the hero? And that is the place where I find compassion for what we call the human experience. And so when we explore the Easter story, I'm inviting us to shift into this mystical awareness. Because when I went to Unity Institute for several years, and first of all, okay, I'm just going to get real with y'all. I walk into Unity like, oh, I want to be a minister. I've had the calling. Oh, I've had the calling, right? And my good friend at that time, Reverend Maureen Bass, said, be careful saying that out loud. Because once you say it out loud, blankety blank might start to happen. And lo and behold, I said yes, and everything started to crumble. And then I walked into my first awareness, I guess, of the first week I did spiritual enrichment education. And I was like, what is all this Bible stuff? I didn't realize there was going to be so much Bible. I didn't grow up with the Bible. I grew up actually really loving my church, just feeling so good when I was there. But I don't think I absorbed anything they were saying. I didn't hear any you're going to hell. I don't think that was being taught there. So for some of us, we come to Unity and we have to unlearn, right? And redefine and ask ourselves, what does this story mean to me? And so when I went to school at Unity, they taught us how to metaphysically interpret stories, including the Easter story. But this is what it looked like. Go get the Metaphysical Bible Dictionary written by Charles Fillmore. And if you don't know who he is, he and his wife Myrtle are the founders of Unity in the late 1800s. And they were part of ushering in a profound new consciousness on planet Earth. That God wasn't up there, out there somewhere, and it wasn't rewarding and punishing, that we were actually source energy, and we were actually the person that was creating our life based on what do we hear? Based on what? Our thoughts, right? So it was a profound moment of moving us into the idea that we can change our thinking and change our life. And I thought, you might get a sense, but I'm a little rebellious. That back row knows how rebellious I can be. The second to the back row, there's some of my good best friends over there. I can be a little rebellious. And I was like, wait a minute, I don't really want to interpret this story based on what someone said 100 years ago. I want to ask myself, what does this story mean to me? Has anyone in here ever done dream analysis or dream interpretation? Come on, Unity people. I know you've done it. Okay, so a lot of times we are told to read what it means in a book. Flowing down a river means a spiritual journey. Driving in a car means this. But what we want to look at as another way to interpret a dream is we're every character in the dream. And that we are the creator of this dream, and it is giving us information about what's happening in our consciousness. And I remember waking up one day and saying, oh my gosh, dream analysis is actually reality. That we are literally in a dream, and we're all interpreting every player in our dream through our level of consciousness. And it's all 100% correct. There's not your version and my version, and the truth is in the middle, because that's what we often say. There's your version and my version, and they're both 100% correct because of our lens. And so I'm going to invite us to take a look at the Easter story through this lens that we're every character, and there might be some meaning in the story for us today. And I will just right out of the gate acknowledge some of these words don't really resonate with me. Crucifixion, resurrection. Oh, we hear these words, right? They might be loaded for you, but we're going to look at the intent or the essence of the meaning, starting with a lot of people in New Thought say the crucifixion is crossing out negative thinking. Have you heard that? Crossing out negative thinking. We're going to go a little deeper today, right? You were in the first service. Are we going to go a little deeper? A little deeper. Because guess what? I'm not my thoughts. And so if I come into New Thought and I think I am my thoughts, then I'm going to what? Try to change my thinking, to change my life. And if you're anything like me, maybe you all are much smarter than I am, but I, for 1 decade, tried to change my thinking. A full decade in New Thought. And it sounded something like this. Oh, I shouldn't say, oh, don't think that. Oh God, oh, no negative thinking. Oh my gosh, it's going to manifest. Oh. I was part of a community that we would wear rubber bands. And if you said something negative, you remember. And then I was part of another one. Another community in the 90s in San Francisco, some of you might know which one I'm talking to, they'd say, cancel, cancel, don't say that. Cancel, cancel. I said something negative, right? And so we're going to explore this story through something a little deeper today, and that is part of what I shared the last time I was here, which I can't believe was 9 months ago, but it was 9 months ago, was my own journey of remembering the time that I felt whole and complete. I came into the world remembering the deepest truth of who and what I am. I remember the experience of being in awe of the world. And I told this story at the first service, so I'll tell it again, because that's, I think, what I'm supposed to do, right? I do the same thing twice. Someone called the first service a dress rehearsal. A few people did, so welcome to the performance. So there is a story, true or not, but it's supposed to be true. And I wrote it in one of my books, so it's got to be true, right? Of a young couple who had an infant and a toddler, and the toddler was sneaking into the infant's room at night. And they were curious about that, so they set up a baby cam. And what they discovered is the toddler was sneaking into the baby's room and leaning over and saying, "Please tell me about God. I'm starting to forget." So if we're going to talk about the resurrection of a new consciousness, it's actually not a resurrection, it's a remembering. It's the remembering of who and what we are. And if we're going to use the word crucifixion, not my favorite word, but if we're going to use that word, we're going to say, what are those core ideas and beliefs? And more than that, what is the frequency that I started carrying around about myself when I forgot the truth? We don't actually need to teach our children about this. We need to learn from our children because they're closer to the source. And that also happens as people are transitioning off of this planet. They start getting closer to source. Have you ever had a really angry relative who suddenly becomes kind and loving in their last days? Have you? Because we start to shed all of this stuff that we think is so important, including our thoughts, opinions, ideas, and beliefs. But the deeper awareness is the frequency that we're carrying. So when I was a little kid, growing up in Indiana, and I told the year earlier, so I'm going to tell it again, born in 1965. Yeah! And being a product of the Midwest in the late 60s, what a trip. Some people say we choose to be born here. Interesting choice I made. Let me be a little gay boy in Indiana in the late 1960s in a family where the men talked in such a derogatory way about women, and my grandfather, who I loved, was racist every single day, said something that was deeply racist. And I remember being simultaneously mortified, but also confused. Seeing war on the TV, seeing my parents in a loveless marriage. I found out recently that my dad never wanted to marry my mom, but he was told he was going to do it. I'm like, well, thank God, at least after 20 years of sensing that, I guess I was onto something. And all of this set the stage for me creating what I call core false beliefs. And the reason I say I call them, I add the word false because I want to acknowledge that we pick up lies about ourselves that are so much deeper than a thought. It's a frequency, it's a vibration. So I was walking around, I'm unlovable, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy. And I had all sorts of strategies to try to manage that. Some of them really absurd. It became the unconscious operating system at which I was walking through life with. And then I kept saying something like this: why do I keep having these relationships? Why do I keep attracting unavailable people? Why am I in a toxic work environment? And the why is really simple, but we're going to ask a different question, and that's, what is it that I can do to, whether we like the word or not, crucify or live beyond some of these? How do I actually get down and heal that which is in the unconscious or the subconscious? Because if I don't, it's running the show. And every behavior, every thought, every action, every idea, and every relationship cannot possibly be incongruent with that. If I'm vibrating with the frequency of I'm not lovable, and I say, please love me, please love me, please love me, I will literally reject it if it shows up. And that's the great news. It is the great news. Okay, I have a what? Okay, it's the great news because then I understand the power of the frequency aligning. And once I understand, oh, my core false belief if I'm not lovable keeps attracting it, and that's not really accurate. It's actually we're attracted to it. It's actually that we cannot possibly choose anything other than that. That's the power. Because if I can continue to replicate these relationships over and over and over again, I can shift and heal what's there, have a different relationship with it. One could say crucify, but I'm going to say live beyond that. Change where I'm tuning into, because we came in as the core vibration of infinite possibility. We came in as the core vibration of love. We came in as essential. The Buddhists call it Buddha nature. There's so many words for it, source energy. So we don't have to figure out how to get there. It's what needs to be uncovered and discovered and unlearned so that I can return to that. And that, to me, is the Easter story. The Easter story is simple. It's been here all along. And for me, I spent many, many years searching outside of myself to feel whole again. And all the while, it was literally right here. And one thing we don't talk about often in the Easter story is the tomb time, which is the story, if you don't know the Easter story, is Jesus was crucified, 3 days in the tomb, and then resurrected. And then people interpret that story in all sorts of different ways across the world. The tomb time, through the mystical lens, to me would be, what is that time asking of me? That time when maybe I've become aware of one of those patterns in my life, those things that we keep replicating over and over and over again. We've shifted out of why does this keep happening to me to why do I keep choosing this? And then eventually we say, maybe why is not the question. How can I have a different relationship with this? Spending time in the silence, allowing myself to ask what's next for me before I go out and be the love and be the light. Because I know you Unity people. We just want to be, I am love, I am light, everything's love and light, right? And I think it's important for us to say what wants to be released, because we don't need to find love. We don't, that's what Rumi said. We're not here to seek for love, but to remove all the barriers that we've put on top of it. And so the Easter story to me is actually a profoundly simple story, a remembrance of who and what I am. And a remembrance of who and what I am means I can automatically see that for you. And when I can see that for you, I can see that more for me. And that's how we start to shift consciousness on the planet. And it might not even be a ripple effect. Maybe it can happen right now. Maybe it did just happen right now. If one of us in this room says, I'm not going to react to that post. I am not going to believe that I am my opinion, and if we have different opinions, therefore we can't be friends. How many of us see, why I just can't be around my family who has different views than me? That's why I don't love the term finding a like-minded community, because I'm going to guess that we agree on a lot of stuff, but I can also guarantee that there's at least one of y'all in this room that's like, what the heck is he talking about? I don't agree with any of this. That's not the Easter story. I mean, I know my husband's mom sometimes comes to hear me speak, and she's like, that is not what Jesus said. One time the camera was next to her, and I said something, and you can hear her on camera going, that is not what he said. You need to tell TJ. You can hear her voice on the camera. It is so good. That is not what he said. Oh my goodness. So the story really is, I'm aware that I came into the world as a spark of divinity. I'm aware that I got programmed to believe that I'm something else. I am aware, and I am now willing to question every point of view I've ever had that has kept me limited or stuck. I'm going to question them. I don't have to cross them out necessarily. I can live beyond them. I can become the observer. And I remember learning how to meditate. And I think I literally did hear teachers say the intention of meditation is to quiet the mind. And it was brutal for me. It was like that was the same decade probably. of me being really brutal with myself. I shouldn't think that. I shouldn't have that thought. I need to stop thinking. And when I became aware, or someone said, become the observer of the thought, then I started saying, maybe my thoughts aren't as solid as I once believed. And then I came to another awareness, maybe I'm not my thoughts. And then the question, if I'm not my thoughts, who or what am I? And that exploration took me back to a remembrance of the time when I knew. And when the spiritual room of our existence is the CEO of our company, if you will, then our body, our physical self reports to spirit, our emotional self reports to spirit, our thoughts report to spirit. In other words, what if it's all spiritual? What if the story is so profoundly simple that our complicated minds might not even be able to grasp it? And that is, you are whole and perfect exactly as you are, and you've never been anything else. But maybe you've had some ideas that that's not who you are. And so as we spend those 3 days, metaphorically speaking, could be literally speaking, I remember one time I was going through a very difficult time, and I had so much judgment of this other human being. And this was at Unity, of course, right? Because we know conflict never happens in spiritual communities, right? And it was about the board and about the minister, and I said, I am not leaving this room until I have a transformation. And I closed my curtains, and I stayed there and it was really 3 days. I'm literally processing this in real time, as you might notice. It literally was 3 days, and at the end of the 3 days, I was so aware of the truth. And I had experienced the truth once in Varanasi, India, where my ego was stripped away for just a few minutes. And it came back, of course. And the goal, I don't think the goal is to be rid of the ego like it's some horrible thing, but I had a permanent shift in my relationship with it. I realized that the ego is a vehicle for spirit. And so I was in that room for 3 days until I had the transformation, and the transformation was so beyond forgiveness, because I thought I need to figure out how to forgive these people because they're bad and wrong. And I need to be the better person. That's why I don't love the F word, forgiveness I'm talking about. Because I can make peace with that and I can realize who I am. And so in closing, and this time I think it really is in closing, not 7 more minutes, I think it really is in closing. I just want to say the Easter story is profoundly simple. The story is each of us came into the world as a spark of divinity, and that's the truth of who and what we are. If we've ever believed anything other than that, this is a moment where you have a choice to say, that's not true. The truth of who I am is an infinite being. So I want you to repeat after me. I am love. I am light. I am joy. I am effervescent. I am here to be love. I am here to be joy. And I make a difference. And so it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you, everyone. Happy Easter, happy Easter. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Didn't I tell you were in for a treat? Thank you, TJ.
Our prayer chaplains are available after this service to provide personal prayer support. If you are a prayer chaplain here today, please stand. Our prayer chaplains are wearing the lavender stoles, as you see.
Whether you have a joy or a concern in your heart today, praying with our prayer chaplains is a powerful opportunity to have your intentions raised up in consciousness.
And now let's have our prosperity celebration. Let's open our hearts to the practice of giving. I invite you to prepare your gifts as we align with the universal law of circulation. As we give, we shall receive. In truth, there is no lack or limitation. Abundance is our true nature.
And for your convenience, there are a variety of ways to financially give to this community. I've lost my page. Shown on the screen in front of you. For those of you watching online, there's a donate button on the Watch Live page. We encourage everyone to avoid fees, because all the apps charge fees, by setting up automatic giving to Unity through your bank's bill pay option.
So at this time, I invite you to take your tithe or offering in your hand and repeat this affirmation with me together.
Divine love, one with me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am joy-filled and grateful. Wow. As we bless this offering, we bless the giver and the gift, that it may go forth and multiply and increase the good in our lives and the lives of those we touch. Together, we give thanks for the ever-increasing, constant flow of absolute good in our lives now.
We are a circle of light. Come join the circle of love. Come join the circle of light. The light in you and the light in me are one. The light in you, the light in you and the light in me are one.
Hello, everyone. I'm Genevieve, and I'm filling in for Michelle. She and her family are in Mexico for the next week. So, who from the smaller class would like to share what we did today? Evie, how about you?
We got to color eggs.
What else? What else?
We also got to read a book.
What was the book on? What was the book about?
Yeah, eggs.
You back to
Anybody? Does anyone else want to share? If not, we'll pass it to Mike.
There we go. Thank you. Would you like to share what we discussed? No? How about you? You will? Awesome.
We talked about how it's like we're moving from one stage to another. Like you're going from like the first grade to like the fifth grade. Now you're like at the top. But then when you go to like middle school, you're back down at the bottom.
That's exactly what we talked about. We talked about the transformative experience, the personal resurrections we have in our lives, year to year, day to day. So, yeah.
I just wanted to wish everybody a happy Easter! Don't forget the Easter Bunny came to talk to you kids and say hello and happy Easter and spread some joy and love in your life, just like we do here at Unity. Happy Easter!
That's all we got.
Okay. Wonderful, thank you. And before we bless our children, youth, and teachers, I just want to give you a heads up on who's going to speak next week in our spring speaker series. It'll be Reverend Darlene Strickland. She's senior minister at Unity of the Blue Ridge, and she has been Reverend Kristen's prayer partner for over 20 years. Yeah. And so she's a captivating and inspiring speaker, teacher, singer, who creatively weaves deeply spiritual insights with real stories and practices that lead to transformation. So we'll be looking forward to seeing her next week. And now it's time to bless our children, youth, and teachers. So, children, youth, and teachers, we love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the divine light within you.
And now we invite you to rise in body or spirit to sing our the prayer for protection. You are the light, the love, and the peace on earth right now. So let your light shine. Have fun and spread joy.